Look, it's really easy to talk about the benefits of living in Albuquerque, but to be honest with you guys, I've done plenty of talking about that. One thing I haven't done is actually talked about why me and my wife continue to stay here and why we actually choose to stay here to raise our kids and make a life for ourselves. So, in today's video, we're going to get into that. So, hang tight, grab your pen and your pad. Let's get into today's video. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because we are dropping videos like this talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque has to offer and a couple things you should expect if you are planning on moving down here in the next 90 days. So, and on that note, if you guys are planning on moving down here, as much as I love doing these videos, I am also a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico. So if you are planning on moving down here, that number popping up on the screen is our direct line. I am the one that answers all the calls, texts, and emails. So if you're interested and you're planning on making the move and just don't know where to start, feel free to hit us up, because we'd love to help. So why would me and my wife choose to stay here and raise our kids and make a life here when there's so much other opportunities all across the United States? And to be honest with you, the first topic on this video is going to be that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And what I mean by that is it took me moving to New York and realizing what big city living actually entailed to really take an appreciation to what New Mexico and Albuquerque was. So in hindsight of everything, seeing how expensive everything was out there in the East Coast, and even down to the cost of housing, it really put a perspective to me as far as what we were able to afford, especially being, in my early 20s, barely getting our life started, having a kid, and really just kind of getting a jump start to life. I really had to think super hard about the next decision that we were going to make, because we thought the big city life is what we wanted until we got there. And I can be honest with you guys that even down to the country kind of lifestyle, we weren't ready for that just yet. And Albuquerque gave us a good footing and an awesome place to be able to just get started with life, right? In terms of affordability, everything that they had to offer for our children, the culture, the vibe, and even having our family here to be able to help and support us really helped out a ton. So maybe that's your city for you. I don't know, right? But for us, that was a big thing. Being able to kill and feed the soil that we were already in and creating opportunities out of it. And it struck us well. I mean, we're able to help out people from all across the United States through these videos, talking about how passionate and how happy we are to share our stories and a few good things that you could expect when living here in Albuquerque. The outdoor lifestyle that we get to accomplish here. Essentially we can spend a lot of time outdoors here in Albuquerque because we get 300 plus sunny days of weather. And with the average temperatures being around the 60s and the 80s, I know it's a pretty big spread, but just to paint the picture for you guys, right now I'm outside, got a little bit of a breeze, and it's around like 86 degrees, almost 90. But in the shade, it feels so good. And our family personally likes to go hiking. We like to go biking, fishing for the most part, but spending the time outdoors any chance that we get because of the weather here is A1. And that's probably one of the number one reasons why we actually stayed here, because some of the places we were looking at, it was either too hot, too cold. They dealt with a lot of snow or just didn't get any rain. And here we experience all four seasons. So if you are somebody that enjoys being outside a lot, you like to go on hikes or just to walk around the block after work, just to kind of decompress, get your thoughts together, or just let off some stress, you'll be able to do that here all the time. I mean, look at me. I'm out here in the middle of the day. Is it hot? Yeah, because I'm working up a sweat. But if I was just hanging out in the shade here, it'd be totally fine and perfect. Now, a big thing for us was the whole culture, the vibe, all that stuff. And we wanted our kids to be able to experience that. Some things and traditions that we grew up with are still very much alive. And that comes down to the people. A lot of the people here hold traditions very close. And that can be traditions that were passed down from generations to generations to generations. I mean, you're talking about 5, 10 generations of traditions being passed down from one family to another. And even down to like the festivals and the different things that they do for the holidays here. It just feels so hometownish, almost feels hallmarky in a way. People seem to be stuck in their ways here, and it pays off. Like super old school feel. Some of the towns and little villages that you'll go into, yeah, we got villages here. You'll see that a lot of the old remnants are still there. I mean, shoot, you go into Old Town and you just get an instant like feel for the vibe and the culture. I mean, check out this building. Down to the artwork and structure of some of these buildings, it's freaking crazy. Where else are you gonna get that? Now, I touched on this earlier, talking about affordability and all that stuff. And for me and my wife, when we were looking at numbers and home prices and all that stuff, all across the different areas that we were looking to move to, Albuquerque was the best. In 2016, when we purchased our house, we bought our house for $162,000. Now, I know that things have changed, and purchasing a house for that amount nowadays is almost unheard of, but it's not totally out of reach. To be honest with you guys, even now, Albuquerque is still about 16% less expensive than most major cities, which can mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference. When you're talking about like Denver, even places out in Texas, they're already reaching $500,000 on their average home prices. Here in Albuquerque, we're still at $350,000. And that's, your typical house anywhere in Albuquerque. So for us, it was bigger bang for our buck. I mean, we got a corner lot with so much space, 1,400 square foot house, 3-bed, 2-bath. Now, granted, we've already outgrown it because our kids are bigger and they got bigger beds and their rooms are tiny. But the equity that we've amassed from that purchase has doubled, right? It's super cool to see what kind of equity gain people make here, the home prices that we have in comparison to other large cities, and how affordable and realistic it is to actually own a home here outside of, other major cities. And yeah, they may offer more amenities and stuff like that, but who cares about amenities if you don't own your house and you're going to be a renter for the rest of your life? I don't know, just my opinion. What are your guys' thoughts? Drop it down in the comments. The weather here in Albuquerque in summer 2024 has been awesome. It's super sunny like this pretty much majority of the day, and then in the evenings it starts to rain and cools things off. So we really haven't seen 100 over temps in months, maybe 1 week in June, but outside of that, it's been pretty cool and pretty nice. And just to kind of recap a couple of things, guys, for us and our family, the main points that really kept us here was, number one, the accessibility to be able to build a foundation for our life and to be able to get ahead and start creating wealth. And number two, the outdoor lifestyle because of the good weather and just how accessible the outdoor amenities are to Albuquerque and everything around us. And then three, being able to purchase a house that made sense for our family in an affordable price range. And need I mind you that in 2016, we only got approved for $200,000. So that said a lot about how much money we were making. We were making a whole lot of money. And nowadays things have gone up, but wages have also gone up, and people are getting smarter in the ways that they make money. So to put it into perspective for you guys, if you are planning on moving down here because number one, you like how affordable it is, you enjoy the outdoors just as much as we do, and you like mild weather where you can pretty much predict the activities that you're going to be doing, and you're not going to be bound to these sporadic weather patterns because for the majority it's pretty sunny here. I mean, look at the weather now, guys. Clear skies for the majority. That number popping up on the screen, guys, is my direct line, and I'd love to chat with you over a quick Zoom call. That way we can really put into perspective what's important to you guys and help you discover what the next steps are when it comes down to moving to Albuquerque. But I'm gonna get back inside. It's getting a little too hot out here after doing all that walking for this video. Hope you guys have a good week. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.